Welcome back. Treating and managing high-risk calves is an important task on your operation. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Todd McCartney had a chance to travel to a Wellington, Colorado feedlot to learn more from the experts.
All of us in the cattle business at one time or another are going to have to deal with some high-risk calves. More than likely, we do our best to avoid them. Some buyers, however, choose these cattle because they're bought at a significant discount and with proper care and management can be upgraded. Either way, it's the proper care and management that's key to dealing with these cattle. Today, Cattleman to Cattleman brings you to Wellington, Colorado at the Horton Feed Yard. And I've got with me today Dr. Jerry Woodruff, Fort Dodge Animal Health, to visit with about the topic of high-risk calves. Jerry, I appreciate you coming. First off, define for us what is a high-risk calf.
Well, Todd, there's quite a few different descriptions of what a high-risk calf is. But generally, we're talking about a commingled calf, say maybe of sale barn origin. We may have a calf that's endured a long haul from his gathering point. We could be dealing with a calf that's enduring some weather stresses, either too hot or too cold, a lot of rain, those sorts of things. We could even be dealing with lightweight calves when we're talking about high-risk calves, but it doesn't always have to be the lightweight calves. We could have some 700-pound calves that could qualify for that classification as well.
Well, we'll start with management because it's vital. What would be the good husbandry practices to include?
Yes, husbandry and good management practices are essential when dealing with any class of cattle, but certainly with high-risk calves. And in this category, we're probably talking about things like just making sure we've got a good clean pen to accept those calves and receive them, have readily available clean water source. Bedding would be a good thing to add in if it was appropriate in the situation. Always when we're dealing with cattle, low stress handling would be really key to dealing with these animals. They're dealing with a pretty good stress load already, so we certainly need to handle them in a low stress manner. We'd probably also be talking about a good diet for these calves, and we might want to incorporate the aid of a nutritional consultant. And in those situations, we're probably dealing with some recommendations for long stem hay, plus a little of the ration so that we can have a little higher protein and energy level to these calves. Those elements would be terribly critical to them being successful at fighting off respiratory disease.
Jerry, what about mass medicating?
The practice of metaphylaxis, as it's called, mass antibiotic medication at the time of processing, has become a research-proven tool that management can use to reduce the sickness, death loss, and ultimately the treatment expense.
When we return, we'll have more on the best ways to manage high-risk calves. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's return to Dr. Jerry Woodruff and reporter Todd McCartney to learn more about treating high-risk calves.
Go ahead and outline a sound processing program. What are the components?
In addition to the mass med antibiotic that a lot of operators elect to utilize, we would like to incorporate a viral respiratory vaccine that would include IBR, PI3, BRSV, BVD type 1 and 2, like Pyramid 5. We'd also include a dewormer product. Getting rid of the parasites in cattle has proven to enhance the immune system function, so we get a little better response to the vaccine.
Well, then that would be supported by that 5 Rivers study.
Yes, Todd, there was a field study, feed yard field study done at the 5 Rivers Ranch Cattle Feeding Company down at Lamar, Colorado. It was a study that was begun in 2004, completed when the cattle were finished in 2005. This study utilized high-risk calves that averaged about 630-pound feeders. There were nearly 4,000 head in this study, and the results were profound. They showed a very significant effect of adding the Mannheimia hemolytica vaccine to the mass med antibiotic that has become kind of standard for this class of cattle.
No doubt all these products conform to the BQA guidelines.
Yes, all of these products that we've talked about, the viral vaccine, the mass med antibiotic, the dewormers, and Mannheimia hemolytica can be in a subcutaneous route of administration, which is certainly BQA friendly.
Well, Jerry, as we get our arms around the proper care and management, we'd be remiss in talking about prevention, because these do come as a discount and they're a burden on our industry.
They certainly are, Todd. These animals are purchased at a discount to the seller because the buyer understands that he's going to likely encounter greater health episodes with these cattle. He's going to have greater treatment costs, may have even greater death loss. And these animals, certainly the more treatments that they incur, the greater likelihood that they would have of not hanging up a higher quality carcass.
Well, we'll want to prevent them, but if we get them, at least we know that what the proper care and treatment protocols are. Thank you, Jerry, for the sound advice. From the Horton Feed Yard in Wellington, Colorado, I'll toss it back to you, Susie.
The Five Rivers Cattle Study is a great resource on the management of high-risk calves. You can read the study and learn more by visiting our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.